As you might have gathered from the title of this video, I'm going to be a dad again. This is great news. Don't think I need these shades right now. So yeah, this has been a long time coming. It's interesting, I guess, when you when you're young and you think, how's my life going to turn out? You probably don't think, yeah, I'll probably have another kid when I'm 50. You might think by then it's all done and dusted. Kids have grown up and, you know, you're ready to retire, and maybe your kids will look after you in your frail dotage if you've been a good dad. But I don't know about any of that. But what I do know is that I first became a dad when I was just about to turn 40, and I love being a dad. I love my daughter more than anyone or anything in the entire universe. Why wouldn't I want to repeat that experience? So my partner and I have been together for just over 3 years, and we started trying pretty much immediately. Pretty much without even mentioning it to each other. It was like we didn't tell each other until later that we both kind of thought, yeah, I could have a kid with this person. We were trying straight away, nothing happened, and then we had to go IVF. You know, IVF is very expensive, and it's not a particularly nice process for either person. So we tried that, it didn't work, and my partner took that really hard in all kinds of ways. She felt, you know, wrongly, but you can understand why. She felt like she had failed in some way, or she's less of a woman. Yeah, so that was a whole episode. And so then we decided not to try again. You know, keep trying naturally. If anything happens, great, but nothing happened. And so then we looked into adoption. This could be a good option for us. We could help out a kid that needs a home, and maybe we could satisfy our own parental urges along the way. So we signed up to a London-based adoption agency. Maybe their first and foremost concern is that they want to place kids with parents who are not going to change their mind. And the reason why I say that, because you know, it'd be a pretty serious thing to change your mind, wouldn't it? The reason why I say that is because they made it sound so unattractive. They made it sound like, well, you're probably not going to get a healthy baby in London. What you're going to get is a baby that's experienced intravenous drug use in the womb, and then the parents can't look after it, and it's going to be wrenched away from its mother's arms and be in the middle of an ongoing court case, and it's like, fucking hell. You know, and also they told us the possible effects of young children that have been affected by drug use, and physical effects, mental effects, psychological effects. We were still kind of moving forward with it, and then and they said, look, you've got to have lived with each other for 1 year, and by then we'd only lived with each other for a matter of months. We deliberately moved into a place with a spare room, so that we could go forward with the adoption process. Yeah, so we couldn't move forward with that. So we thought, okay, well, what do we do now? We have to wait the best part of a year until we've been living together long enough to reapply for adoption. And I was just thinking, well, you know, by then, I'll be nearly 50 by then. This was, you know, 6 months ago. I have a daughter. That box has kind of been ticked. I'd love to have another baby of our own that's half mine and half the woman I love. But if it doesn't happen for us, you know, it's easier for me to cope with that disappointment than it is for my partner, who has always wanted to become a mother. I encouraged my partner to get more involved with my daughter, you know, and be more of a stepmom type character. And you know, she met my daughter when my daughter was only 8 years old. So that's 8 years of stuff that she'd missed, but still another, you know, 8, 10, 12 years of her childhood and teenage years and youth to experience. It's not the same, I know, but you know, maybe I hope that would offer some form of consolation. And we had quite a long time then to get used to the idea that it's just not going to happen for us. And I think in a way we accepted it and decided that we were, like you always got to do with anything, you've got to be happy no matter what, right? You've got to be happy no matter what. Got to try to be happy with your lot. Unless if there's something you can do to change it, great. And if there isn't, then, I think strive for happiness. Meditate, exercise, get out in the sunshine, eat some chocolate, spend time with friends, spend time doing things you love, spend time doing people you love. Life carried on. And then all of a sudden, in April, we realised that there was an unexpected, out of the blue pregnancy going on. And at first, you'd think after all that we would have been immediately delighted. But like I said, we had had the chance to get used to the disappointment that we are not going to have kids and make ourselves happy nonetheless. And I think we were doing a pretty good job. So instead of being immediately delighted, we were a bit shocked. A change of heart is now necessary. A change of heart, a change of attitude, a change of some sort of adaptation, and some slightly uncomfortable adaptation is now necessary. So we had a few weeks to get used to the idea and get excited. We even started to talk about what that future might hold for us and gave the baby a nickname so it was easier to refer to the baby. And we got excited about it, and we started to feel lucky. I'm not going to pretend it was that simple. It wasn't that simple. To be honest, I was torn between, on the one hand, thinking, this is great, this is what we wanted, we are getting what we wanted. And on the other hand, thinking, I'd kind of had plenty of time to change my mind now and get used to the idea that this is not going to happen, and think about what the next 10, 20, 30 years of my life, the remainder of my life, might look like, and make certain plans. And I was hoping that we could move away to another country. I was hoping we could buy some land. I was hoping we could renovate a ruin to live in. Just do something completely different. So, of course, when you make plans that you're excited about, and then it looks like those plans are not going to happen, there's a certain amount of disappointment. At the same time, it's a weird duality of thought, isn't it? That at the same time, you think, well, the thing that I previously wanted, now I'm going to get that. So it's sort of, you're happy and sad at the same time, which is kind of weird and interesting, but that's life, I guess. And then 7 weeks into the pregnancy, it went away. It failed. My partner was very stressed at the time. That may have been part of it, but you never know, do you? The first 3 months are incredibly precarious. You just don't know if it's going to work out, and often it doesn't work out. And it didn't work out. And it seemed, if I believed in fate, then I would say that fate was being rather cruel, because we had started to get excited about it. And like I said, we started to give the baby a little nickname to make it easier to refer to, and we started to make little plans and talk about, this could happen, and we could go here, and maybe we'll live there, and when the baby comes, And then just all of that is just dashed against the rocks, and that was really gutting. And that really sucked. But that, that really did suck. I don't want to sound like a arsehole, but because of that weird duality of thought, plans that I'd started to get excited about were then not going to happen because of this new eventuality. There was bitter disappointment and relief at the same time. Doesn't that sound weird? But, emotions about these things are pretty complex, I suppose. So we did the reading up, researching the situation. What does this mean? What does it mean for a 43-year-old woman who thought she couldn't have kids to suddenly have a surprise pregnancy? Could it happen again? And it turns out that women who have a miscarriage often then have a very fertile time for maybe up to the next 6 months. So I just thought, okay, well, we're going to try again, for sure. Never mind the doubts, never mind the other plans. I love my partner and I want her to be happy, and she's always wanted to be a mum. And I love being a dad, so we're going to go for it again. So we went for it again, and it happened immediately. The miscarriage happened at the beginning of June. By the end of June, we were pregnant again, which sounds crazy, doesn't it? But that's the way it went. That's the way it happened. This time we were just like, well, we're not going to get excited about it. It went wrong last time. We're not going to get excited about it this time, you know, but let's just stay very calm and live one day at a time. And that's what we did. And we managed to get through to the 12-week scan this time. So last time, only 7 weeks. This time we got through the 12-week scan. Amazing. And that's the time when people start telling people. So we started telling some people, by the way, if you're one of my friends or a member of my family and I haven't told you yet, and you're, you know, this is the way you're finding out, then I'm sorry. But I decided that instead of just texting everyone, I just thought, well, I'll tell them when I see them. And so if I haven't told you before now, it's because I haven't seen you. So now it's 16 weeks. We've got another scan coming this Thursday. I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted. I feel really lucky. I feel like blessed. Yeah, I'm really excited about it. There's a long way still to go, isn't there? Less than halfway. Long way to go. But I'm really excited about it. I guess that's it. All right. Thanks for watching.